What I'm doing right now, my shoulder broke, but we still getting to the money. We still counting paper. This ain't a pump and dump, baby.
Rick Ross knew perfectly damn well what he was doing and what that would lead to.
50 Cent is living it up right now because Rick Ross just pulled a wild move that nobody saw coming, except literally everyone except Big Meech.
I'll buy your masters. You ready? I will buy your masters.
Word on the street is Ross finessed Meech so bad that Meech allegedly put a hit out on him. And the internet, they're treating this whole mess like the season finale of the most chaotic reality show ever.
How do you feel about the rapper Rick Ross having the same name?
Well, the fact that he stole my name, not that we had the same name, he actually stole my whole story, my identity, the whole thing. Mm-hmm. You know, he built his career off of my legacy.
But let's keep it real. What did Meech think was going to happen messing with a former corrections officer? It's time we dive headfirst into this madness. So here's what's up. 50's been sneak dissing both Big Meech and Lil Meech on social media ever since Rick Ross threw him under the bus. The shade is deep, and it's not even subtle anymore. But here's the part that really had people shook. Big Meech came out of prison and immediately got real cozy with Rick Ross, like Ross was some kind of savior or something. Instead of keeping things respectful with the guy who actually stayed solid, aka 50 Cent, Meech decided to roll with Ross, who's been beefing with 50 for years. That move had folks raising eyebrows hard. 50 wasn't out here expecting Meech to declare war on Rick Ross just for him, but come on. Smiling in flicks with Rose, acting like Ross been riding for him all these years, that had to feel like a straight-up betrayal. For someone who's been holding it down and showing loyalty, watching Meech give Ross the spotlight must have felt like getting stabbed in the neck with a smile. And just when you thought the betrayal had peaked, nope, Big Meech took that knife and twisted it even deeper. He linked up with Floyd Mayweather, while Lil Meech moved like he had a point to prove, all while 50 Cent was out here preaching about real loyalty and real power. Like seriously, is that how you thank the man who handed your son a $5 million head start and a whole career? Wild. Some folks love to say 50 made stacks off Big Meech's name, and maybe he did. But at least he built something legit off it. He put Lil Meech on, gave him a platform, and created a legacy. Meanwhile, what did Rick Ross do? Man played Big Meech like he was just another pawn on the board. Ross knew this situation was going to explode into some major drama, and he leaned all the way in, chasing attention, flexing for the spotlight, and pumping up that ego like a pro. And when the drama started bubbling too hot, Ross hit the eject button fast.
Do I feel bad for Lil Meech? I don't feel bad for no grown man on this planet. Like, I'm a grown man. Why the fuck I gotta feel bad for another grown man? Like, you a grown man too, nigga. What you asking for my sympathy for, nigga? You be alright. Ho ass, nigga.
Before anybody could even catch on, suddenly he's out here talking about a shoulder injury. Really? That's the escape plan? And of course, he made sure the whole internet knew about it, posting up like he was the victim, hoping people would fall for it. But here's the real twist. That injury wasn't just a weak excuse to duck the Meech situation. Nope. Ross was using that to dodge something way bigger. He didn't want to face the same fans he allegedly scammed with his sketchy crypto coin. Boss Token. The internet dragged him for that one, calling him Rug Ross, because he straight up pulled the rug out from under folks who trusted him with their cash. And let's just say, when he fell hard. And let's not overlook the timing. Just days after Rick Ross allegedly lied to Big Meech and got exposed, he conveniently popped up with that broken shoulder. Come on now, that timing is way too perfect. It's giving escape plan, not accident. And according to the whispers out there, Ross was the one in Meech's ear, hyping him up to ask 50 Cent for more money.
Burn it all down if you piss him off. His own sometimes too. You know, he'll cancel BMF to prove a point. Regardless of how much money he makes him.
You really can't make this stuff up. Now look at Meech, sitting on empty, with nothing to show for any of it. That's exactly why other artists are steering clear of him like he's carrying bad energy. And remember those Wingstop franchises people swore Meech was about to eat off of? Word is, Rick Ross quietly sold most of them. Yup, only kept about 2 locations. just enough to move money into his real estate hustle behind the scenes. Sneaky. Truth is, if Ross hadn't stepped in and stirred the pot, Big Meech might have had a real shot at bouncing back. Instead, he kept stacking bad decisions. And Lil Meech? Man was out here burning through millions, splurging on Chrome Hearts jeans, and trying to stunt like he was in Gunna's tax bracket. Now, everything they built, gone. Just like that. Folks online are having a field day, roasting Big Meech for how fast this so-called friendship with Ross blew up in his face. One voice that's been especially loud, Michael Rainey Jr. He didn't sugarcoat a thing. Straight up said he doesn't feel bad for either of them because they're both grown men and should have seen this train wreck coming. And 50? He's been chilling in his own corner of the internet, co-signing every bit of it. Let's be real. Everybody knows how wild 50 Cent gets when someone crosses him. Even DJ Vlad co-signed that. 50 is the last person you want to beef with. Because if he feels betrayed, he'll burn the whole thing to ashes just to make a point. And Big Meech, he ain't the first person Rick Ross left stranded in the middle of nowhere.
Bad guy out of all of this.
Who's the bad guy? I don't think there's a bad guy.
No, yes it is. That Vlad, let's talk about it.
I think Meech is the one that made a mistake.
No.
No? You think 50?
No.
Lil Meech.
No.
Who am I forgetting now?
Rick Ross knew perfectly damn well what he was doing and what that would lead to.
Ross has a track record. He even did his own team dirty. Left them to get jumped in Canada, then came back talking about he was testing their strength. Like, what? That's not leadership, that's straight up twisted. Rick Ross been playing this sneaky game for a long time, and now even Wack 100 is stepping in, calling out Ross as the real snake in the drama between 50 and Big Meech. And get this, Wack said he saw the whole setup coming from day one. Ross was never really down for Meech. From the jump, he played him, hyping him up to turn against 50, feeding him all these big dreams about stacking money and building something major. But in reality, it was all smoke and mirrors. And truth be told, Wack 100 might have hit the nail on the head. Because if Rick Ross was really about putting Meech back on his feet, he would have kept everything low-key and moved in silence. But no. Ross wanted to be loud. He was clowning 50 online, talking big about buying the rights to the BMF series like he was really making power moves. But guess what? That was all cap. None of it ever happened. And now, Ross has ghosted Meech completely. You don't see him mentioning his name. No collabs, no business, nothing. The only thing Ross is pushing now is whatever fills his pockets. And Big Meech clearly ain't part of the plan anymore. And here's the part that got everybody gasping. Word on the street? Rick Ross was the real reason Big Meech's welcome benefit party got shut down. But the whole time, he had everyone blaming 50 Cent. Why? Easy. Ross didn't want Meech getting that spotlight or stacking real bread from a comeback concert. He wanted Meech stuck in his shadow while he played the nice guy in front of the cameras. Remember when 50 posted, then deleted that message saying, "I had nothing to do with this. Please stop calling my phone. I sincerely hope you have a nice day today. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm stronger than you think I am." Most folks thought he was just deflecting, but now it's starting to add up. All this time, Big Meech thought Ross had his back, especially after that BMF track where Ross rapped, "I think I'm Big Meech." Wild, right? But here's the plot twist that's got everybody's head spinning. What if Rick Ross didn't just admire Big Meech? What if he wanted to be Big Meech? Real talk. Ross got a whole history of building his brand off legendary street figures, especially the ones who ran the game before him. This ain't a theory, it's facts. Let's not forget, Ross straight up stole his rap name from the real Rick Ross, a major kingpin who was locked up when Ross rose to fame. And when the real Rick Ross got out, he confronted him hard, even took him to court over it. That drama kicked off around 2005, and by 2010, it had turned into a full-blown legal battle. Ross built an empire off names that didn't belong to him. And now people are starting to wonder if he tried to do the exact same thing with Big Meech. Back in the 80s, the real Rick Ross, the kingpin, not the rapper, filed a lawsuit against William Leonard Roberts II, better known as Rick Ross, for straight up jacking his name and image. The real Ross accused him of trademark infringement and identity misuse. but rapper Ross claimed he made the name up himself. Yeah, right. And in 2013, guess what? The judge sided with the rapper. Why? Let's keep it a buck. Ross had the fame, the money, and the influence. Plus, don't forget, he used to be a cop. The system already leaned in his favor. The judge ruled that his use of the name was protected under the First Amendment. Free speech. Just like that, the real Rick Ross lost his own name, and the rapper walked away with it like it was nothing. Now knowing all that, is it really so wild to think Ross might have tried to pull the same exact move with Big Meech? Let's connect the dots. First, he drops that BMF track rapping. I think I'm Big Meech. Bold, right?
Career that you have any respect for?
No, there's nothing there. I never wanted to work with him.
Then the second Meech gets out of prison, Ross is all over him like they've been boys for years, acting like he's there to support him. But when it was actually time to show up and help Meech bounce back, Rick Ross ghosted him. And guess what? This ain't the first time he's played that game. He did exactly the same thing with Larry Hoover back in 2021. Ross has a whole pattern of using real-life kingpins in his lyrics to boost his image while they're stuck behind bars. Word on the street says he even paid millions to the gangster disciples just to keep Hoover's name in his songs without catching heat. That's not homage. That's calculated clout chasing, and Ross has turned it into a whole business model. But when it was time for Rick Ross to actually stand up for Larry Hoover's cause and show some real love, he vanished. Straight ghosted the whole movement. Instead of putting in real work to help, Ross was just name-dropping Hoover in his music, stacking profits off the man's legacy and giving nothing back. People weren't having it either. Ross got dragged all over social media for that one. To this day, folks still clown him, saying he fumbled the whole thing and was too shook to even show his face at the stadium. And now, we're watching the same mess happen all over again. History's just doing a remix at this point. No wonder 50 Cent once said he's never respected Rick Ross as a person. And honestly, can you blame him? Ross flips on people faster than a switch. And let's be real, 50's probably somewhere grinning right now, watching all this unfold without even lifting a finger. He's got nothing to prove. While this whole situation crashes and burns, 50's busy dropping new projects and stacking more money every single day. Meanwhile, Big Meech and Lil Meech, they're out here bouncing from one celeb to the next, allegedly asking for handouts just to keep the lights on. It's a mess. And here's the wildest part. Rick Ross used to clown 50, calling him broke and laughing at him for struggling to secure a loan to build his movie studio. He really thought 50 was down bad. But guess what? Just a few days ago, that loan finally got approved. Yup, Ross is now watching in real time as 50 turns that vision into reality. At the end of the day, 50's still standing strong, still building, and still untouchable, while Ross has to watch it all play out from the sidelines. A whole lot of fans are convinced Rick Ross is out here punching the air right now. And honestly, who could blame him? Just a few weeks back, he was all over social media bragging about supposedly buying 50 Cent's masters. Looking back at that now, sounds like a straight-up joke. Meanwhile, Lil Meech and Big Meech seem to have learned some hard lessons. But let's keep it real. It's probably too late for 50 to take Lil Meech back under his wing or try to help Big Meech recover from this mess. That ship has sailed. One person who's been vocal through this whole saga, Zip with the drip. He clocked the truth from day one. He stood by 50, saying he knew Big Meech was being played. Zip even called it early, predicting that Rick Ross was gonna dip on Meech once the heat turned up. And boom, here we are now watching that exact thing unfold in real time. Now fans all over the internet are weighing in, and the majority are saying Big Meech is done in the game. Whatever shot he had at a major comeback, gone, wasted. You'd think after doing that much time behind bars, Meech would have come out with more wisdom, maybe a sharper eye for the fakes around him. But nah, it feels like he came out more reckless than ever. One fan summed it up perfectly. Let me get this straight. A former corrections officer flip-flopped on a dude who came out of prison? Who didn't see that coming? and then a two-faced dude gets played by another two-faced dude? That's karma, plain and simple. And this karma, it got served hot, fresh out the oven, no delays. But real talk, where do y'all stand on this drama? This situation's got layers. So what do you think? Is Big Meech somewhere behind the scenes plotting his revenge on Rick Ross? Or is he just gonna let this whole betrayal slide? Even while he's catching heat for allegedly turning his back on his childhood friend Cuff, this story is getting messier by the minute. Drop your thoughts in the comments. We wanna hear all the hot takes. And if you were feeling this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share it with someone who needs the tea. Catch you on the next one.